One of the worst videos on the internet that I've ever seen was an animal cruelty video. I mean, it wasn't someone making a video of them being cruel. It was of someone else uh, being cruel to an animal. And I don't even want to describe what it was, but I did not like it. And it had me feeling bad for a little while after having watched it. I was thinking of it had me thinking of being violent towards the person who was committing this act. And it made me feel sick and very angry. I did not like it. And sometimes it's it's easy to fall a victim, if you will, to that the idea that like life is pointless or it's just cruel suffering essentially, and fall into despair because of all the bad things that are happening in the world, and it just seems that they're just gonna continue to happen, and there's nothing that can be done about it. And if you aren't experiencing any terrible things, then it's just really a random chance. It's just a luck of the draw, which is great if you are experiencing good things. But I think if you have really any sense of awareness, it just kind of compounds the issue and presents you with this kind of like sick, twisted um, response to the fact of just how arbitrary it is. It's just like oh, it's difficult to really enjoy um, the fact that you aren't suffering just because it seems like the main reason why you aren't experiencing something terrible what someone else is just completely random. And so you're walking around like, oh, I'm good, I'm great. Like you're able to your identity is attached, or caught up in your circumstances, but your circumstances are 99% out of your control. uh, and so it's very bizarre. And I've found that one of the ways that's helpful. One of the ways, there's many different ways to look at life, um, but I think this is a useful idea in times like this when you're feeling overwhelmed. Um, Perhaps it can act as some encouragement, is that the idea of life as a test, which may not seem fun, but it's just like, what answers do we have for all the suffering in the world? I know in wrestling and boxing and in fighting, there's drills that people do, um, called like shark cage or whatever it's called, or something. And the point is, let's say I'm boxing. I'm going to do one round against a boxer, and then not even going to take a full minute break, take a 30-second break, and then I get a fresh boxer. Then I take a 30-second break, and then I get another fresh boxer, and then another. And all I'm doing is continually fighting fresh fighters over and over. And I'm not supposed to start winning. I'm not supposed to win each round. That's not the goal. The goal is to improve your endurance, improve your capacity to be able to deal with adversity, to be able to get better at fighting against fighters who seemingly have more energy than you when you are getting tired. So like the goal is never to win each of these rounds. I mean, usually this is done in training. You're training for a single fight, which would potentially be in a series of more future fights. And it's about winning those fights. It's about, the point is to grow. And it's quite possible, I've heard plenty of people talk about this, that the purpose of life is to grow. We're here in this physical realm to grow, and it's going to prepare us for the next stage. And for one, I see that as a much more encouraging exciting, mysterious explanation than the materialist, atheist, scientific worldview that this is just all random and nothing really matters. We're all just carbon and there really is no moral difference between eating a sandwich and beating the shit out of your grandmother. I do think there is a moral difference. But that is something that sometimes, I mean, it's scary. It's like, oh, this is all just a test. But then other times, I find it to be a consoling idea. Because sometimes it feels like, despite your best efforts, like it's all pointless. Even if you achieve massive success and have a great life, it's just like, well, you're going to die and it's all going to go to zero anyway from your perspective. And for me, it's encouraging that even when things don't seem like they're working or it seems like things don't matter and that's pointless, that they're not. And it is somehow in a way that you can't fully comprehend, part of a bigger plan.